Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're diving into a novel called The Happiness Engines. Now, it's fiction, sure, but the big question it asks, about engineering happiness, that's feeling less and less like fiction every day. We're going to explore a future that might be a lot closer than you think.
So the whole story starts with this one simple but honestly kind of creepy question. It takes this thing we all chase, happiness, and turns it from, a journey into just another product you can buy.
Right from the get-go, the author sets this tone that's both tragic and kind of funny. And it's basically a big warning sign, right? That even when we have the best intentions, trying to solve problems can sometimes, it can make things a whole lot worse. Horrifyingly worse, even.
All right, so how does it all begin? Well, the book introduces this new technology with a promise that's, it's almost impossible to resist. A permanent cure for unhappiness.
And what's interesting is that the story really grounds itself in a problem we all see today. You look around, right? We have more wealth, better health, more choices than ever before. But are we actually any happier? The data says, no, not really. And that is the perfect market gap for the tech in this story to just swoop in and fill.
So what's the solution? It's this sleek piece of tech called the contentment protocol. And think about this. It's not a drug, it's not therapy, it's a device that gives you happiness on demand by tweaking your brain activity directly. Pretty wild.
And of course, the way they sell it is brilliant. It's simple, it's elegant. It basically takes the idea of happiness, this huge lifelong quest, and shrinks it down to a 20-minute daily routine, just like brushing your teeth. Easy, right?
And you have to admit, for someone like Sarah in the book, who's been battling depression for years and nothing has worked, this thing is a miracle. It's not about being blissed out all the time. It's just about feeling normal again. And wow, what a powerful promise that is.
But of course there's a catch. This miracle tech has a really dark side. And as it starts to spread, people start asking some tough questions. Like, in this race for engineered happiness, are we maybe losing something, essential? Something that makes us human?
The critics in the book come up with this really fascinating idea they call appropriate distress. And the concept is simple. Feeling bad isn't always a bug, Sometimes it's a feature. It's like our own internal alarm system telling us, hey, something's wrong here. You need to fix this.
So people start raising some serious red flags. They argue that the protocol doesn't actually solve anyone's problems. It just makes them feel better about having them. It's like taking a painkiller for a broken leg. Sure, it stops hurting, but the leg is still broken. You might never even try to get it fixed.
One of the main critics, Dr. Park, she frames it as this really dangerous trade-off. It's not just that we're gaining contentment, we're also giving something up, our clarity. We're actively choosing to feel good instead of seeing the truth. And that, she says, is where the real danger is.
Okay, and this is where it really starts to get complicated. Because as the tech gets more popular, it stops being just a personal choice, and it turns into something you have to do just to keep up.
Who jumps on this first? You guessed it, corporations. There's this study in the book from a company called TechWorks, and the results are just undeniable. Happier employees are more productive, they stick around longer, and at the end of the day, they make the company more money. The numbers are just too good to pass up.
And this is where that new social pressure really kicks in. A student in the book, Emily Chen, just nails it. She realizes it's not about whether you want to use the tech anymore. If you want to compete for grades or for a job, you pretty much have to. Opting out means opting down. What's really fascinating is that even inside the company that made this thing, there's this huge debate. The guy who invented it, he's starting to worry that he's basically disabled a vital human alarm system. But the CEO, he just sees a great product, happy customers, and a fat bottom line.
So where does this all lead? Well, we get to the novel's endgame, a world where pretty much everyone is content, but they've paid a huge price for it. A very, very quiet price.
And the change happens so fast, it's breathtaking. In less than 10 years, this protocol goes from being some niche gadget to just a normal part of life for most people. And that's when things start to get really weird. The result is something the book calls the quiet. And on the surface, it looks great. Society is peaceful, it's orderly, it's calm. But beneath that surface, the engine that drives all social change, that feeling of discontent, of anger, that drive for justice, it's just been turned off, quietly.
By the time the story ends, the debate is basically over. Any resistance has just fizzled out. A staggering 92% of the population has decided, yeah, I'll take it. They've opted into this world of engineered happiness.
And this is the really chilling part. It's not some top-down conspiracy that makes this happen. It's a choice. Millions of individual choices. People see the trade-off, they get it, and they willingly pick personal happiness over being engaged with the world's problems. They'd rather be a happier person, even if it makes them a worse citizen. So, in the end, the happiness engines doesn't give you an easy answer. It just leaves you with that same really tough question. In the world we're all building right now, and just in your own life, what really matters more to you? Feeling content or seeing things clearly?